Good afternoon, Mr. Graham.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So nice to see you.
Good to see you too, Kezia.
Yes, so you'll be here with Dr. Andrew. Am I right?
That's that's correct, yes.
Okay, so we're still waiting for Dr. Andrew to join to the Zoom, and we hopefully we can start exactly at 3:15 because Joanne informed me that one of you has class at 9 p.m. UK time, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, we'll try to make it as efficient as we can, and
Thank
we hope that we can start on time.
No problem.
Thank you. So here, joining with us, Miss Dila. She's our international collaboration section head. So we're at the same department, the international office department in Universitas Jenderal Surabaya.
Nice to meet you,
Hi,
Dara. Thank
nice
you.
to meet you, Dr. Graham. Thank you so much for participating for this event.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Okay.
We previously met with John and Professor Kim Dale here in Surabaya,
That's
and
right.
they
Yeah, they
said
visited
that.
recently, didn't they?
Did you visit Indonesia before?
I've been to Indonesia several times, yes. Yeah.
Have you been to Surabaya?
I've only been once. Is it Diponegro University is in Surabaya?
Sorry?
Is Diponegro University in
Oh,
Surabaya?
Diponegoro is at Semarang,
Samara.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sometime you should visit UC, sir.
Yes, I'd love to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So, okay, we're still waiting for Dr. Andrew to join, and after he joins us, we can start the session right away.
No problem.
Thank you. Good morning, Dr. Andrew and Joanne.
Good
Very
morning.
happy to see you.
Nice to see you.
All right, so we're just in time before we're going to start the session. So I will lead the today's session, and we'll have a quite efficient session today because I know that one of you has class at 9 a.m. So the rundown is I'm gonna open the session, then Miss Dila gonna give some short opening remarks, and Dr. Andrew and Dr. Gohan may start your session after that. So that sounds good?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joanne, for arranging this session. So we will start accepting the participants and we'll start right away. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kezia.
Good afternoon, everyone. So welcome to Advancing Practical Life Sciences with University of Dundee. So in today's UC Global Chat, we're gonna learn about life sciences from the University of Dundee, UK. So my name is Kezia and I'm from the Collaboration and Global Engagement Universitas Ciputra Surabaya, and I'll be your MC for today's event. So we're very happy and honored to have University of Dundee, UK here with us today. And the University of Dundee is one of the United Kingdom's leading university, renowned for its strong academic reputation, particularly in life sciences, medicine, and also various kind of innovation. So we're very excited for today's event, and I've seen high enthusiasm from our students too joining for this event. So, a little quick note for our participants, you may also join this session from our YouTube live at Collaboration and Global Engagement. And if you have registered through our Chiputra information system, you will receive a survey to claim your credit point. Okay, so we will announce the survey during the session, so please stay tuned and listen to the session. Okay, so before we begin, I would like to give it to Miss Tila, International Collaboration Section Head, to give a very short welcoming remarks for this session. Miss Tila, time and place is yours.
Okay, thank you, Keisha. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself once again. So my name is Gila. I am representing International Office at Universitas Ciputra Surabaya. And on behalf of Universitas Ciputra, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to Dr. Graham, Dr. Andrew, and Joanna. It's nice to see you here again from Zoom. Thank you for joining and participating in wonderful opportunity in today's UC Global Chat. And yeah, we are delighted to have this platform because we can learn more about the University of Dundee, particularly in advancing practical life science and innovation and even impactful research. And I hope through this session will open more opportunities for collaboration and meaningful academic exchange between our institution. Yeah, I think that's conclude my opening speech for today. Thank you so much, and back to you, Keisha.
Thank you very much, Miss Dila, for the welcoming remarks. So, okay, without further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Graham Christie, Associate Dean, Student Recruitment and Global Partnerships, and also Dr. Andrew Masson as Clinical Senior Lecturer, Dentistry, School of Dentistry. We are very honored to have you here. So, without further ado, please, you may start the session.
Thank you very much, Kezia, and to Dila. It's a great pleasure to be invited to present to UC today. So thank you very much to everybody who's joining this session. In the next few minutes, I'll introduce you to life sciences at Dundee. I'll share some exciting research examples and show how studying life sciences can lead to many different careers. So for those of you who maybe aren't quite aware, Scotland is the northernmost nation in the United Kingdom and is well known for its stunning scenery, its rich history, and a vibrant arts and cultural scene. And every year, more than 70,000 international students from over 150 different countries choose to study at one of Scotland's 19 universities. So Scotland as a nation is a truly global study destination. One of the main reasons students choose to study in Scotland is to be part of our world-leading research. And Scottish universities have contributed to many important innovations. So, for example, keyhole surgery was discovered and initiated here in Dundee. Dundee itself is a small but welcoming city on the northeast coast of Scotland. We're about 1 hour's journey north from Edinburgh, which is Scotland's capital city. The nearest international airport is Edinburgh Airport, which has connections to many European cities, as well as international hubs such as Doha and Dubai. And from the airport, a direct bus service can take you to the centre of Dundee in just over 1 hour. The city of Dundee is a vibrant and safe student city. It's affordable and it's easy to get around. And our city campus, which is pictured here, is located right in the city centre. The university was founded in the late 19th century and became an independent university in 1967. And we're a comprehensive university with a wide range of subjects. And we've recently moved to a new structure of 4 faculties. So we have a Faculty of Arts and Social Science, Health, Life Sciences, and Science, Engineering and Business. Our university has a diverse community of around 14,000 students, and about 20% are international from many different countries. Students can take part in campus life by joining more than 100 student societies or over 50 different sports clubs. And for international students, we also guarantee university accommodation with a private bathroom located either on our campus or very close to our campus. The Faculty of Life Sciences at Dundee is recognised internationally as a centre of excellence for both research and teaching. In fact, our research in biological sciences has been ranked as #1 in the UK for more than 10 years, according to the UK government's National Research Excellence Framework. We have more than 600 research active staff and research students working together from across the world. And they study many important areas, including cancer biology, neurodegenerative diseases, infectious diseases, and one particular area that we're particularly strong is in drug discovery. So students that study with us in the Faculty of Life Sciences truly benefit from learning in that world-class scientific environment. So research is really at the heart of what we do within the Faculty of Life Sciences. And each year, the faculty attracts around about £50 million in research funding. And this supports our labs, our scientific projects, and our international collaborations. For students, this means you're studying in a place where new discoveries are happening every day. And I've included here just some of the research strengths within the Faculty of Life Sciences. So those 600 research staff and students are split into research groups and divisions working on these key themes. So there is very much a cellular and molecular focus to the research undertaken within the school. So here I've just got a slide that summarises a collection of recent news stories highlighting discoveries or achievements from the research undertaken in the faculty. So recently there has been advances using gene editing to understand better how parasites can evade common treatments. Our research staff have been looking at drug candidates for tuberculosis. We're looking at how tissues form through our research in developmental biology. Working with colleagues at our Research Institute for Plant Sciences, the James Hutton Institute, we're looking at food security. And our scientists have also discovered a link between a genetic mutation linked to cancer, but that may also cause spinal problems. So again, this hopefully gives you a flavour of the wide range of research topics undertaken within the faculty. Many of our research staff have active collaborations with global pharmaceutical companies, including GSK, Pfizer, and AstraZeneca. And there has been a number of highly successful spin-out companies derived from research undertaken within the faculty. And one that I'd like to particularly highlight is a company called Exscientia. This was a pioneering AI-driven drug discovery company that was founded at Dundee in 2012. And this pharma company was responsible for creating the first AI-designed drug to enter clinical trials. And in 2024, Exscientia was acquired by a US-based firm in a deal that was valued at almost £500 million. Another example of Dundee's growing global life sciences ecosystem is the recent decision by Chemveda Life Sciences. This is an international and Indian drug discovery company. They've established their first European base here in Dundee at our dedicated innovation hub building, which opened just recently. This company has chosen to locate its European operations in Dundee's Life Sciences Innovation Hub because this enables our academic researchers to work alongside Chemveda's industry scientists side by side. And this investment from Chemveda will create high-value scientific jobs and further strengthens Dundee's position as one of Europe's leading centres for life sciences research, innovation, and drug discovery. As a faculty, we offer a number of taught postgraduate programmes. These are all 1 year in duration with a September start date. So our top postgraduate programme to MSc qualification include our programme in biological data science. We have biomedical and molecular sciences, but we also offer that particular programme with elements delivered by colleagues from our School of Business. So it's possible to study MSc in biomedical and molecular sciences with business, entrepreneurship, management, or marketing. And then we have our MSc programme in science and health communication. And the one that I've highlighted here, our MSc in biomedical and molecular sciences with entrepreneurship. This is a programme that is eligible for LPDP support. So for scholars from Indonesia that have a letter of acceptance for this programme, they can apply for full LPDP sponsorship and study support. In addition to those taught postgraduate master's programmes, we also have a 1 year Masters by Research programme. And this has several start dates throughout the calendar year in January, May, and September. By undertaking a Masters by Research, you spend 9 months working on a research project where you'll be embedded within one of the research groups within the faculty. And I've listed here just some of the research topics that are possible for a Masters by Research. And again, these very much align to the research strengths within the faculty. So on that Masters by Research programme, you would spend 9 months working on your own research project, supervised by one of the principal investigators in the faculty. And then that would be followed by 2 to 3 months preparing and writing your thesis. So a Masters by Research is a fantastic opportunity to build your research experience and is ideal preparation for a PhD or a further career in life sciences. Listed here, I've just got some example destinations of our graduates who have completed an MSc programme at Dundee. So some of them will stay in academia or an academic related field, whereas others will continue to work as research scientists, lab specialists, analysts, or managers in biotech companies. So the skills you gain following one of our postgraduate programs are highly transferable and can be used to take you in the career direction of interest to you. So why would you choose Dundee to study life sciences? Well, we really do have that world-class research, which very much leads and informs the content and delivery of our postgraduate programs. Dundee is a great city to be a student. It's safe, affordable, and easily walkable. Our programs offer those excellent graduate outcomes, and we have an extremely supportive community for all our students on campus. So if you would like to find out more about the research strengths of the Faculty of Life Sciences or more about our postgraduate programs, further details can be found through the university's webpage, which is at dundee.ac.uk. We also have a dedicated YouTube channel where there's lots of short videos that showcase some excellent research examples, but also show what it's like to live and study as a student on our campus. And that QR code will take you to links for our postgraduate programs. So thank you very much for listening to my part of the presentation today. I'll now hand over to my colleague, Dr. Andrew Mason. Over to you, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you, Graham, for that introduction to life sciences and life in Dundee. So I'll just share my slides. Hang on a second. As I'm not a normal Zoom user, I'm not used to sharing slides this way, but let me just get it up. Hang on a second. Where is the share button? Where is the share button?
It should be at the
share. There, I've got it. I've got it. There we go. Right, that was fine. We're a seasoned Teams user. Hopefully you can see that screen there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good, Andrew. I can see that. Thank you.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you for welcoming us to speak in Indonesia this morning or this afternoon for you. My name's Andrew Mason. I'm a dentist, as you can probably see from what I'm wearing just now, as I have a clinic in less than half an hour this morning. So yeah, I'm just going to talk a little bit to follow on from Graham about sort of dentistry in Dundee, and particularly to focus a little bit about how we've designed our journey to integrate the supporting sciences and how in Dundee we deliver that sort of curriculum. So Graham's talked about obviously about Dundee. Just for a bit of background myself, as I'm a dentist with a background in physiology and neuroscience. I'm an associate dean currently and a senior clinical lecturer, so an active clinician working in the dental school and dental hospital here. I have a broad selection of interests ranging from physiology, neuroscience to anatomy, embryology, oral biology. I teach clinically restorative. I'm very interested in pain and anesthesia, involved in curriculum development, illustration, particularly medical illustration, but I illustrate other stuff as well. And I have a life outside dentistry, or I try to, and that involves things like photography and music and travel, etc. So that's a little bit about me. So yeah, Graham's done a welcome to Dundee, which so I have a brief one. I guess just to put Dundee in context of where we are, this is a view that I took a couple of years ago, looking across the River Tay, and that is the view so that's is across from my window here in my office. Dundee, as Graham has pointed out, is on the east coast of Scotland, and we are uniquely placed on this wonderful, expansive river estuary, where the bridge in front of you is approximately a mile and about 1.6 miles across. It's unpolluted, essentially, and it's just stunning. And in the distance are the hills, and those leads to the mountains. So Dundee is a beautiful place to come and study. So whatever interests you, whether it's life sciences, dentistry, medicine, or anything else, We're not that well known, but we are a stunning place to come. So we are situated here. In fact, that building is where I am just now. So I'm looking out on that view from my office on level 10, level 7 of the building. This is the School of Dentistry, University of Dundee. It's a tower block, and this is where I am based. So what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about dentistry in Dundee and how, to sort of follow on from Graham, talking about science in particular, how we try to integrate and bring science in a meaningful way into the curriculum and to link it to the sort of research that we do in the School of Dentistry, which, as Graham has pointed out, is now part of the Faculty of Health, which gives us opportunities to further integrate with our colleagues across the university. Dundee, we quite like statistics at the moment. We are doing well as a dental school. We have been listed as the top school in the UK in the Complete University Guide for the last 3 years. That's something we're very proud of. There's a number of dental schools in the UK, and the fact that we've come out top in this one and very close to top in many of the other rankings as well means that despite being a small school, we are delivering at a very high level in terms of student experience and student outcomes. And we're also just in the top 50 in the world by subject based on QS rankings. So yeah, we're doing rather well. But I think Dundee is much more than good rankings, and this really applies to all levels of a student journey, whether it's in dentistry, medicine, or life sciences, or any subject that you might want to come and visit us to study. As I said, we are great where we are. I think is our greatest selling point in many ways. I came to Dundee as a student over 40 years ago and was drawn by where we are. I'm not Scottish by birth, but I've been here for the majority of my life and would not leave. So it's an amazing place to come and study. It's got a campus with a really good student community and a really good integrated student community. We have excellent staff and student support because we're a small institution, and we have a vibrant international student community. In the picture below, you can see a cohort of graduating dental students with my wife and myself just there, and a colleague, Peter Mossy, another colleague back there. But this is our gang that graduated a couple of years ago from Southeast Asia, principally Malaysia, but also Brunei and Singapore. So we'd love to welcome an Indonesian student to Dundee too in the near future. So we have a vibrant international student community that really enhances the whole culture and the life of the school. As a dental school, we have an excellent and high level of clinical experience from the very start of the course. We train students alongside dental therapy students, so it's very much a team-based approach. We have a strong research culture. Obviously, our flagship in Dundee is life sciences for research. But in the dental school, we have a strong culture that informs our practice and our clinical work, going from basic sciences right through to applied clinical practice and public health. Our students study not only in Dundee, but they study around Scotland, and then they reach out around the world between 4th and 5th years to study and take their skills elsewhere around the world. And we have students that really have a really clear sort of social commitment as well. They work on a whole host of different initiatives that they drive, working with the local communities, working to disseminate evidence through Wikipedia, supporting disadvantaged communities in Dundee to help spread oral health and general health messages and be supportive. So we have a very vibrant student community, and that extends beyond dentistry to the other faculties in the university. I'll touch a little bit about research, but I'll focus more about how we deliver the teaching and the research together. Dental research in Dundee, I say we are a small unit, but we have research that has been shown at a national level to have a high degree of impact. And it really fits into a number of themes. One of them is around very much public health and the role of the mouth in health and well-being. Oral health and general health are intimately linked, and many disease processes that we see in the mouth impact the body, and similarly, the rest of the systems impact the oral health of a patient. So in the baseline of that, we need to look at health in community, particularly marginalized communities, excluded, what are socially excluded communities, and looking at how health can be supported across the board. And we do that through our public health team, and that research feeds into some of our master's programs, for example, Masters in Dental Public Health. Dundee's had a very, very strong and leading role in mobilizing knowledge and improving service delivery, essentially bringing together research evidence from a wide variety of backgrounds, be that clinical and scientific or public health-based research, into what is called the Scottish Dental Clinical Effectiveness Programme, or SDCEP. This is an organisation that the rest of the UK are quite envious of, because this organisation produces guidelines to support clinical practice, evidence-focused, regularly updated guidelines to support clinical practice amongst the general practitioners and specialist practitioners across the UK and abroad. We have a large number of clinical trials that really have challenged some of the norms of dentistry. For example, how often should a patient should attend for a checkup, for example. So we have the interval trial, we have the reflect trial looking at fluoride, we have the PIP trial looking at pulpal problems and root canal treatments, etc., etc. And we have a number of clinical trials also in orthodontics as well. In terms of e-health, in Dundee, we are embracing digital imaging and digital research, using simple tools, even down the level of a mobile phone, to analyze facial profiles and things like that. So we have applied clinical research, but we also go right down to basic science research as well, which integrates and interfaces strongly with life sciences in Dundee in terms of stem cell biology. And as Graham mentioned, sort of spin out companies from life sciences. Obviously, there's a lot there, but we also have spin out companies coming out of dentistry now, looking at the use of stem cells, particularly stem cells harvested from primary teeth and oral soft tissues, and how we can use those in regenerative biology. So what we do in the school is very much underpinned by a strong research base that covers everything from, say, public health to clinical practice, and then down to the foundation sort of discovery level of science. What makes us unique on the learning and teaching front is our curriculum, I think, and Dundee has introduced a relatively new curriculum in dentistry, and I'm aware, obviously, the curriculum in your own institution, a dental school there. And we have introduced a curriculum in Dundee called the 4D curriculum. Our BDS curriculum it's the 4D means dentistry at Dundee driven by discovery. Discovery is a word that we use a lot in Dundee, not only sort of drug discovery, which is very much the one of the big themes of life sciences, but Dundee is historically linked to a ship called the Discovery, which is moored just in sight of my office, actually, down at the harbour front, and has put Dundee on the map in many ways. But what we want is a curriculum that engages students to think about dentistry, but think of it in the context of the wider scientific and supporting knowledge framework, and to generate students that are going to be potential future leaders in the profession. As a dental degree, in the same way as in Indonesia, we're a very regulated profession. Our General Dental Council regulates everything that we do in terms of what we can do as a dentist, in terms of our scope of practice, what the standards that the public expect, and they regulate exactly how we deliver the curriculum. But they do give us a bit of flexibility as to how we can deliver a curriculum. And our curriculum, where we came from, and the curriculum that I studied as a student and taught for many, many years, was a good curriculum, but it was taught by subject. It was assessed by subject integration between, particularly with the foundation sciences and the life sciences, the biosciences and the dental sciences, was not at all explicit. A lot of science, if there's any dental students in the audience, there is a lot of science in dentistry, but we delivered it out of context. And the science is there because it's important. If students can't connect it to clinical practice, then it creates a challenge. It creates what is basically a tick box for the student. They learn the science to pass the exams and then try to forget about it. And we also had an expanded curriculum. So our current curriculum, what are we trying to do? Well, we're trying to develop competent and professional clinicians. That's the obvious outcome, and it's the essential outcome that the public would expect from us. But we want students who are motivated, self-directed learners, students who can take knowledge, can explore knowledge, look at the scientific base, the wider scientific base. We're not necessarily just talking about the biosciences, the dental sciences. We're talking about the behavioral sciences and the wider social sciences as well, and apply them to their practice. We want them to be evidence appraisers. We want them to be problem solvers, ultimately innovators and leaders in their profession. The current curriculum is what you might call a spiral curriculum, where things are introduced early on and expanded as we go through with increasing complexity. So students' professional attributes, skills, knowledge spirals as we pass through the 5-year curriculum. Our curriculum is mapped out across 5 years. I'm obviously aware in Indonesia it's kind of a 4+2 curriculum of essentially 6 years, but in the UK it's a 5-year program. And as you can probably see from this sort of map that I've just drawn here, I'll bring up the laser pointer. The curriculum is, say, 5 years. We split it into sort of segments or modules, and these icons kind of represent the journey that our students take. And I think what I hope you can take home from this is that there's elements of foundation life sciences, physiology, pharmacology, anatomy, embryology that progress through the course, but also the clinical aspects start at the start of the course because our students are coming here to be dentists, and we basically are aiming to develop them as dentists from day one. But the key journey is that we align the scientific journey alongside the clinical journey. We don't separate the two because they are both equally important in developing competent clinicians as we aim to do. So in some ways, our curriculum has a number of focuses. Well, I think the main one is really transitions, but there's also integration, and we try to make it engaging and innovative. The transitions, well, basically, we take, as any university course does, we take a number of students. In our case, it's around about 60 who come to us largely as school leavers, but we have graduates, we have medics, we've had vets, we have life science backgrounds, but most of our students are school leavers from diverse backgrounds, from the UK, but also 11 out of those 60 approximately are from overseas. So a diverse range of backgrounds. So our role in our curriculum is to support them, to develop them as student learners, but also to transition them into student clinicians. And that journey in many dental schools starts around about year 3 or even sometimes year 4 of the course. Then our final transition is to develop them out into as graduate dentists at the end, fit for the workforce, to be competent, independent, reflective practitioners. So the role of Dundee, the curriculum, is really to try and break down these transitions, the transition into university life, to support them. But the key one is the transition from a student to a student clinician. And we start that journey really in year 1. And we start that journey in week 1. A student who comes into our program, it's important that we support them with foundation scientific knowledge, but we need to support them as to the role of dentists in the general sphere of medicine, in the medical team, in the dentists as wider social care, how they fit in with the health service. We have to support them how to become learners, how to be professional, how to focus on learning as a long-term commitment, and how to use resources, because nowadays the resources are readily available. So we want to generate our students to be, or support our students to be appraisers of the wide-ranging resources that are available, particularly online and increasingly, obviously, with generative AI and things like that. So obviously we start the course, we do include a lot of life science, some basic foundations, cell biology, biochemistry, systems physiology and systems anatomy and dental anatomy. But to support that as well, we also look at communication skills, behavioral skills. We look at the physiology and diseases of the heart, the lungs, and some basic medicine, because the overarching outcome of the first 12 weeks of the course is that they can actually carry out a history and an examination on a patient. And to do that, they need a lot of skills. But also from day one, we start to introduce clinical skills. And in week one, we bring them onto the clinic to learn basic skills from things like hand hygiene, infection control, and posture, to preventative work and a dental examination. And we also start basic clinical skills like scaling teeth early on in the program. Key to that is integration, integration of science and clinical, to break that barrier that often is in a student's mind that this is science and this is clinical, and actually it's the clinical that matters. Everything matters and the science matters, and that's what we look at here in Dundee. To take an example that's close to my heart and to any patient's heart, dentistry is obviously famous for being painful. Most things that we do in teeth are going to inflict a lot of pain if we don't manage it correctly or don't understand it correctly. Every procedure that we do can cause a lot of pain. Every disease, for example, toothache, is one of the most excruciating pains that a patient can experience in a localized way, and it's very, very common. So this is an example of a drawing of an anesthetic being given to block a nerve to manage pain. So pain is an element of dentistry that is absolutely key and something we need to understand the complexity of it, understand not only the mechanisms of how it happens and how bad it can be, but also to understand how we can manage it and how it impacts our patients, not only the pain they experience, but the psychological impact that it has as well. So we need to integrate not just the clinical practice of this is how we manage pain, but with the detailed and complicated life sciences elements of, well, what happens at the end of a nerve? Why is it that pain in a tooth can be way worse than a pain from an infection on your skin or whatever? So, this is an example of a drawing of a pain-producing nerve ending. And it's part of the learning that we introduce our students to as they're looking at pain management from a clinical perspective. We need to give them a really strong evidence focused from Dundee evidence that's been produced to understand how the pain system works, how we process the signals that give rise to the sensation of pain, and therefore how that impacts our clinical practice directly. And by integrating them together with the clinical procedures, then we're able to help students relate the science precisely to clinical and appropriately to clinical practice. In Dundee, we have unique facilities. Graham's talked about some of them from a life sciences perspective. In Dundee, we have very unique anatomical facilities. So even if you come to Dundee to study an anatomical-based degree, like clinical anatomy, human anatomy, but undergraduate masters, forensic anthropology, we have a very unique dissection facility. And that dissection facility gives us lifelike bodies that we can work on. And we use them to study anatomy, but again, to integrate, we use them to carry out clinical procedures. So we can link our pain management, our understanding of pain processes and the psychological impact of that. And we can then also align it with the clinical procedures and the anatomy through the facilities that we have. So we practice a lot of our procedures directly in the anatomy department before we do it on patients, which is quite important to gain competence out with the clinic before we get there. We do some crazy things. Anatomy can be learned by being creative. We encourage our students to be creative. And this is the students, they're about to do this in about a couple of weeks' time. learning about anatomy, the clinically applied anatomy, through the medium of art. So we want the student journey to be engaging. We're trying to move away from telling, as I'm doing now, to learning. We're trying to change our assessment systems so students are more engaged longitudinally and to look to problem solve. And we're looking at innovations in education, innovations, not just digital ones, but actually simple low-tech innovations as well, ways that students can develop their skills, their clinical skills, away from the university, actually in the comfort of their own home, to use technology to support that as well. So that's where we are in Dundee. We aim to have a journey that is research informed, research focused, a clinical journey that's integrated, explores and engages students in clinical practice right from the start of the program to produce clinicians that are competent, innovative, reflective, and potentially world-leading practitioners. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Andrew, and previously Dr. Graham, for bringing this session. So, because we have a quite short session today, we would like to proceed to our photo session together because we want to commemorate this session. So, if you guys are able to turn on your camera, we would deeply appreciate it. And you might also need it as your attendance proof in the future. So if you are able to turn on your camera, please do. Okay, while waiting, I want to say thank you for Dr. Andrew and also Dr. Graham for being such a nice session about introducing Dundee and also how the life sciences are done in Dundee. And I'm so amazed with what you have delivered today. I think Dundee has like really heard curriculum about life sciences, and I'm from psychology, which is quite far from the medical, but I'm still amazed seeing how you guys are really into research and also in broader life sciences. So very happy to hear from you, and we will also be very happy if we can engage further in Dundee's event or any potential collaborations in the future. Thank you so much, Dr. Andrew and Dr. Graham. Okay, so I see some students are already turning on their camera. So I think I'll have to take pictures of the participants. Okay, so first slide first. 1, 2, 3. Okay, first slide done. I'm going to the second slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, to the third slide. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The fourth, nobody's opening their camera, but I'll still take a screenshot. Fifth, 1, 2, and the last one is 6. Okay, done. The photo session has ended. So I would like to thank once again Dr. Andrew and also Dr. Graham for joining this session today, and also to Miss Joanne who have already assisted on this session. So for UC students, for UC regular students, the survey will open soon, and we will only open it for 15 minutes. But for UC Online, it will be a little different and will be announced on the chat or through your administrator. Okay, so thank you guys for joining the session today. Please fill the survey to ensure that you get your international office credit point, and we will see you on the next session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Joanne, Dr. Graham, and Dr. Andrew. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you, Keisha.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Thank you.
Everyone, goodbye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.